Hello, and welcome back to Dwarving Elias, episode 4 or 5 or 6.
It's 4.
It's
Oh,
4?
Yeah.
Nice,
We've gotten 4 out there, man.
I don't believe you.
Well, see, for a person who logs it and edits almost everything, I think we're at 4.
Nice.
I'm pretty
dude.
confident in that we're at number 4, and you know what that means?
You know what?
Progression.
I never thought we'd make it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I don't know. With editing and all this, at this moment of recording episode 4, we are starting to get a lot more done in terms of uploading, getting that schedule down, and start editing much quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could see episode fucking 10. Whoa, dude, think about it. We're gonna get to 10.
I don't
Double
believe
digits,
that.
baby.
I don't believe that.
I believe it. I'm
I'm giving us episode like 8.
8. You're gonna give us 8?
I'll give us 8.
Nah, man, we're going straight 20.
You're thinking too high at that point.
Well, think about it. Like, a podcast is one of a very simple task in terms of
No,
just
dude, it's the hardest thing I've done in my life.
true, but it's just like being consistent with it. We can easily get to 10.
You hear that wheeze?
But like, I don't know. 10's not a challenge. That's just like 10 episodes, 10
That's
weeks.
so hard, dude.
It's not. It really isn't.
You're right.
But yeah, no, I mean, we got this. Editing, it's a breeze right now. And I feel like the more we do, the more I can learn, and hell, even if you'd want eventually in the future learn some,
Yeah.
and then I can, bounce off each other and learn even more,
Yeah.
and then start going more advanced stuff. Because right now it's just simple stuff. Like right now we're just on YouTube. We're just in this video. But like,
Nah, dude, join us on our Twitch stream tonight.
start getting it live. Just get it out there. Another thing my brother was telling me about is, what if we don't just base it on YouTube?
Yep.
Say we go to somewhere like iTunes or Spotify or this and that.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can. Just gotta kind of research on how to do that. Like,
What do you mean, dude? Just put it on iTunes.
yeah. Well, there isn't really
I
submit
got you.
button. So, I don't know. I feel like if I do enough research, and we can probably start getting it on different platforms.
Yeah.
But for the time being,
No one's gonna watch us, dude.
probably not. So the time being, we're just gonna have everything on YouTube and get it, because I feel like that's a solid base, or like in a sense foundation of where the podcast can be.
Yeah.
And then if someone says like, I don't want to go to the video every time, or like I want to listen to it doing this, or like off, like, because another thing which is shitty is like, say someone's using the YouTube app and they're listening to this, then when they press the home button, it shuts off the audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's something where it's like iTunes or Spotify, you can easily just keep playing it while you lock your phone, throw it in your pocket, you listen through headphones or something like that, to where it's just like you don't have to have the app running continuously. But for now, I mean, it's still a good start to get something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Well, we're not joined by our team today.
Yeah.
So we're back to normal.
The original dose, the OG2.
I like that.
OG2.
OG2.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I still want to do another podcast in the future. Maybe I don't want to say after this first session that we're gonna play, but just in the future of us playing.
Yeah.
To where it's just like, hey, this is what you guys said before. What about now? Like, how do you feel now? Or like, how has the sessions progressed? Or like, what do you think about this game and this and that? So eventually there's gonna be another episode where it's just like, hey, here was everybody.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be exciting.
Well, that was a good first special episode, though. Have the whole gang.
It was everyone too, because there was a situation where I was like, oh, I don't know if so and so is gonna come, or so and so is gonna come but a little late.
Yeah.
Or like another person not at all. But no, everyone was there. Oh, one person we forgot.
Yeah.
And that one is our friend John. He plays a half-orc fighter.
Oh yeah.
And him, it's a little spotty. And I think with Ashley too is because of jobs. It's like you're not gonna have a persistent group play D&D every Friday because of jobs and things like that. So
yeah,
he understood that right away. That's another thing that's noticeable, and I respect them a little more because of that. Because usually, if like say there's a group and they're like, we're gonna play every Tuesday, and then everyone agrees, but then that one person starts missing every other Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there is that but they never talked about like I can make every other Tuesday, or like I might not be able to make, like they don't talk about it. They just ignore it and just not go.
Yeah.
It's something like that to where it's just like that's when the
Last second, I'm not going. Sorry.
It's one of those things of like going in and out of a game. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But whereas John, he acknowledged that he can't be there every Friday. He tells us right away. It's like there's some games I'll be in, but some games I'll not. And then he even was talking about like, oh, I would want to try to like somehow link my backstory into doing that, because I mean, a bunch of other DMs have done that before too.
Yeah.
It could be something small of like, oh, so and so had to go over here, or so and so just disappeared, or something like that. And
A mystical dragon eats him every time.
yeah,
And then spits him back up later on. We're just like, what the fuck, dude?
there was one that they had this sort of rune that they couldn't get off of them. Like they tried to throw it away, but it kept coming back to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that rune would randomly take people to another plane of existence.
Oh, shit.
So it was kind of perfect to say it was us, and then Steven couldn't make it. It's just like, oh no, the rune grabs Bojangles and he just disappears.
He died.
And then next session, the rune activates and he comes back, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like having that sort of narrative way of getting someone who can get in and out of a game. It works really well. And the fact that he acknowledged that that was an issue, and he sort of found a solution rather than not talk about the problem at all.
Yep.
I thought it was really cool of him to do that. So
God, I wish you guys knew. I just wish you knew the background. The back. No, just in general. Like of
the
our
whole
entire
world?
group.
Oh, the group, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, the world, you guys. That's you want the whole background of the world?
Yeah, me and Angel, I feel like it was good to have someone, like, it is, I feel like, I'm stuttering.
It's okay.
Having
I
a
forgive
character
you.
solo, you forgive me. Having a character solo is, like, making your backstory, you can go anywhere, you can think about this and this and that, and, like, it's just you in that situation. But whereas with me and Angel, Aramil and Delverin, those two characters are intertwined in history, or like the way we've lived, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So building backstory was a little more exciting with someone, and plus Angel recognized that, and was like playing off each other sort of.
And he put his own things in, and you guys put.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So I kind of was the head of the spear on terms of writing most of it, because then again I do have the home brewery thing where it makes a PDF that looks like it's almost legitimately out of the player's handbook.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, just tell me what you want and I'll write it. I'll like get it all down. So like, just one night we're like, this happens and this happens, and we're just detailing our backstory. And he was like, and then this would be good if this happens. Like, that's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even when it comes to it, me and him have talked briefly about like session 1, like what's gonna happen, or like how should we deal with this, or how should, like, essentially, do we want to just act like this or act like this? Because last podcast, with the whole group, when he was introducing Delverin, he was like, you can either love me or you can hate me. I can make you laugh, I can make you cry. I was like,
Or really annoyed.
yeah. And
I remember that.
I was like, what does that mean? Because, I mean, some of it connected the backstory, but then there was some I was like, is he trying to he's trying to throw people off, or is he?
Or is
I don't
he?
know. So I just started thinking, I was like, going insane about it. So that's why I like initially talked about him, like, how are we gonna act, like, because that is still an important part, and because it's a paired thing, it's not more of like, if I was just my character, my monk, I could just be like isolated, don't talk to much people, that's it, like. Then
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I have that whole exploration of it, but because we're brothers, there is that different connection and different sort of perspective and path you can go with that.
Yeah.
So having someone with backstory is it's cool, but I feel like there's a lot of things about solo stuff that can be very like more beneficial.
Yeah.
Something to where it's just like Bojangles, he probably like his own backstory. Like, he's thinking of everything, every aspect, he has it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas with mine and it's just like I know this and this, and then I know that of you and this of you, and like there's still some stuff I think he has away from me because backstory wise,
Yeah.
backstory stuff. But being solo, you do have a lot more range. You don't have to think about, oh, I have a brother that's with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's really cool that you guys paired up.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too.
Yeah, it's really cool. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Ah, fuck. Yeah, but I can't wait for you guys to. I want to see how all of you act. I want to see
I'm curious about that too.
I really want to see how Alex is gonna act, Alicia, John, Leah, Bojingles, Ewan, and Angel. This is gonna be a big game. And then Ashley.
It's gonna be a huge group.
It's gonna be a pretty big group. Seven people? That's a pretty big group.
That's a very big group. I mean, I was even contemplating because even me as like a secondary DM, or like I've DM'd before and I've made one shots here and there. I was thinking of like teaching my brother and then teaching my other friend and teaching so and so to where even a 3-man group or a 4-man group, that's a perfect size. You can still run a game like that. You can probably even run a game with 2 people and then DM. So getting that like minimalistic, it's simple, it's even better story wise or character wise because you're directly talking to them. That's like you and you. We're talking and you guys get this. Okay, this happens to you. You completely understand because it's directed to you. Whereas something with a whole group of 7, it's going to be something where say there's a little detail, probably one of the 7 is not going to hear it or they're not going to notice here. So like they're not going to see it as important because it's not to them directly, it's to the group, you know what I mean? So it could be that lazy of like, oh, someone else is going to remember or something like that. Or it's going to be like, oh, shit, like it's to the group, we all should know this or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's different routes that you can take.
If you do make a small group, Ray, can I join?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I'll eventually get like tired of DMing and not being a character. Yeah.
When I was DM for our first game, like as a creative mind, I was like, this is fucking amazing. I have this whole world to myself. Yeah. And then as I'm DMing, I'm still enjoying it. I'm like, oh, I have this aspect. I have this that they don't know about, but they have it with them or something like that. And it's being a DM and sort of knowing everything. But after a while, after session after session, playing monster after monster, if it comes to a basis of you're playing the same monster or you played the same 3 monsters in one fight that lasted 3 hours, it can take a fucking toll on you. Like, so it's something to where it's like, the monsters have a list of abilities, but characters have a list of abilities that go up to their level, like through 20. You get shit, you know what I mean? So it's just like that. I want to play. I want to try this out, or I want to try using this like ability or something like that. So it's.
I want to kill things too. That's how I would think.
And the DM can do that, but it doesn't feel the same as having your own character that you can polish and get perfect. You know what I mean? I mean, unless you're a DM that goes into full detail on one NPC and then keeps doing that over and over again, it might take a bit to get things together. But I mean, running that, it's still not the same. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm thinking of the 10 people in the room, along with you 2. You know what I mean? Whereas them, they're just like, this is me. I know who I am. I can do this, and I have this and this I can do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like it's much more different. So it's understandable how if you want to play a small session, probably get you, my friend, and you, and
you, my friend, and you.
Oh, my brother, he's in that too. So 2 of you and one of my friend and my brother. But
wait, what?
So
got me fucking twice, dude. Fuck you.
But yeah, no, a small group can be pretty simple. It's like easy stuff to like sort of I might even just, if you want to do that, we can just roll of like a DM and 3, and that would be perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah.
That sounds cool. But I can't wait to see all the characters' development and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for you guys to meet certain characters, and I can't wait for certain things to happen. And I'm just like,
Because when me and Anhum were talking about it, we're like, if this happens, we're gonna do this, or we're gonna like just sort of strategizing like what's going to be the first session.
Yeah.
And then as we're talking about it, like, say as a hypothetical, I told him, like, if we're in a town and this happens, we run or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows we're going to be in a town? Who knows if we're going to just end up in jail or, like, end up in the middle of nowhere, lost with the
What if you guys are in a whole different dimension, dude?
Exactly. So
Shit.
it's, like, crazy shit like that, like, I didn't even think about. And I was just like, us talking, we can talk about how we'll behave, but not, if we're in this scenario, then do this. Like, can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more of that, what you can keep with you, and you know for sure, is how you're going to act and how you're going to think.
Yeah.
So we tried to sort of talk about that a little bit. But even then, it's still, we got to stay very vague or general about it, because it's not like, oh, if we see guards, then we fucking run or something like that.
Fucking sprint it.
Who knows if there's going to be guards? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, a lot of it is
What if you guys are inside of a giant tree?
that too. I don't know.
I don't know either.
What?
Except I do.
Yeah, I mean, when we recorded the episode 3, which was with the whole group, that was on a Friday, and I thought that was perfect because we're finishing up our characters mechanic-wise, and then some people still getting their backgrounds done and dealt with. So if you go back to episode 3, you can hear Andres like, "Oh, I'm so hyped for next week!"
I'm
Like,
fucking nerdy.
yeah. So he was hyped right away, and I was just like, "Yeah, I understand the hype." But I didn't have it myself until just like, was it yesterday or the day before?
It was yesterday.
I was just like thinking about my character, and I was like, how are they gonna do this? Or like, what if I want to try this? Oh no, I gotta wait till this Friday. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing my character Friday. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that thought of like, I've put quite a bit of detail into my character to where, like, there's been a moment where I've finished and I just look at it like, done. I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to play, and I know what I know. And it's just like, but I gotta wait. But now it's just like, hey, in 2 days you're gonna be playing your character. At this moment right now, 2 days I'm gonna be playing my character. And it's just like that thought of like, I'm gonna be fucking playing, dude. Like,
Yeah. And there's so many things. There's so many things that I want you guys to do.
Holy shit, dude. And I don't know. I feel like the past games, I played like a drone of like, where do you want me to go? Okay, I'll go there. You know.
Yeah.
And like, what do you want me to do? I'll do that. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's sort of
don't hurt me.
like a robot, basically.
Yeah.
But now, like, me playing, I kind of want to try to do like, hey, I want to kind of look for this, or like, I have the ability to try and go and like get this, or try to act like this, or like, I don't know. It's just something different about this game. It makes it feel more legit, and I feel like it's the preparation that we've talked about every Friday of like, this is what's going on, and this is what we're gonna do now, and this next week we're gonna do this, and it's like getting closer and closer, and like it feels a lot more legit.
Yeah.
And we were on a kind of hiatus of like playing a set game.
Yeah.
I think after your DMing a small game, after that it was just like one shot, we're just hanging out, one shot, we're hanging out, and then a lot of it came to where it's just like we weren't playing D&D when we'd meet up for D&D, or something like that, and it was understandable. I wasn't like complaining about it because it's still us hanging out, or like us doing this, us talking about this, and now it's just like, hey, no, every Friday you have a game to go to.
Yeah.
You're gonna be playing in this world, and it's just like,
it's gonna be so good.
I'm excited about it. I'm happy for it. And another thing too is seeing the whole group getting their characters down and understanding.
Dude.
Working with Steven on his character.
Yeah.
Or not any backstory stuff. That obviously is restricted to like character wise, but
not me.
Yeah, not you. But I was helping him build the character on the sheet.
Yeah.
That's I kind of separated mechanic and backstory. Mechanic being, hey, if you want to hit something, that's mechanics.
Yeah.
So that's on his character sheet. So I was helping him with that, and he was very, very like paranoid. He didn't want to fold up the character sheet or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because last time,
that's so bad.
He had a sheet protector, and it's literally in front of my face, and it is torn to pieces. Not 2 pieces, but just torn apart. And you can tell the huge difference from before till now.
Yeah.
That's another thing that makes it feel so legit, is that he cares for the character sheet. He cares for his character. Like, he's getting.
I think the backstory really helped with all that, because when I first started DMing you guys, didn't have a
Oh,
backstory.
yeah.
There was nothing to you guys. You guys were just like, oh, there you are.
Mhm.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you guys had a world to play with, but I tried to keep it linear because it was my first time DMing, and it was still my practice world,
Mhm.
but I didn't tell them that until later. So they were constantly getting their asses beat. Um, but it was really fun DMing for you guys. But you guys had no story, so there was like no acting to it. It was just
Mhm.
like, I'm just this person in this world.
I'm here and I killed this in front of me.
Exactly.
It's like,
It was like that.
Yeah.
But now that you guys have a backstory, there's things in the world that, oh, it's so
Yeah,
good. I
there's
can't wait.
things like- I have a home. Or
You
like,
have a home.
an original town of where I live.
You have a brother.
I have a brother. You
Yeah.
know what that means? I have a mother and father.
You fucking got him, dude.
So, I didn't even realize that was like a full circle to back to this game thing. But no, it's just that thought of like, before it was definitely like, hey, here's your character to fight stuff. Go fight stuff. That's D&D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as we play, there is that sense of repetitiveness when it comes to fighting and combat, because it doesn't change up too much. There can be variation in a fight, or like layer actions or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. But you won't get that far if you're just doing fight after fight after fight after, and just like it's just going through the motions at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas with role playing and your character and how you act and who you are, that's never the same.
Yeah.
It's a constant flow forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something like that I think is amazing too. Is like, because now in this new game we have our mechanics set. We have that kind of set last game.
Yeah.
And that was fun too. Like, I had a blast playing that.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped me think, hey, this new game is going to be sick. It is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then thinking, but we have the mechanics down even more. Like, we're at a full 100%.
Yeah.
If anything, a 90% or 99%.
As a DM, I'm probably at a good 2%. No, I'm joking.
I don't know how to play. I opened the player's handbook like 3 times. That's it. To look at the weapons.
What does this dice do?
Oh God.
It's a D6.
But yeah, having that thought of like, story is still like, it's going through a game is fun, but now we got the mechanics down, we got role playing down, which is, again, it's not gonna like be repetitive in any way. So something like that where it's D&D at its proper form.
Yeah.
Unlike last time where it's like, hey, you friends want to come play? Hey, okay, here's a character, go fight stuff, and it's just like, this is D&D.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, we could have had backstory, or like, oh, this is how our character acted, or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they explored that in the first game, but now in this second one, like, they got it down.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. And
Yeah.
This is how I act.
Yeah.
Just
It's so good,
just
yeah.
Thinking of that, like, you have your shit. Like, it's gonna be a proper game.
And what I figured out from doing the previous campaign was, you guys told me what you guys wanted at the beginning, but then again, you guys didn't really know what the fuck this game even was at the beginning. Not you, Ray, but like obviously like everyone else, like Alex and them. They were just like, "What is this game? Let's play it," and stuff like that. And they were expecting a board game, but that's not what it's not what it is.
It's
And
a brain game. Imagination.
But yeah, going through that campaign, I threw a couple of fights in front of you guys. I had a couple of backstories for things, and you guys never really went into it, and I was just like, that's fine. Less work for me. God damn it.
How long is that running? 20 minutes?
24 minutes, yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Good.
Okay, I have mine on now. It's actually on.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I don't care.
Well, hold on. Give me a second.
God damn it, motherfucker.
Good job, Ray. Good job.
Is it recording?
Yeah, no, it's still recording.
Someone didn't turn on their mic, and that means me.
Yeah. Dumbass.
Wow.
What are you gonna do?
See, what I can do and what I'm going to have to do, because I feel like what we talked about already
Yeah.
is quality.
Yeah.
So it's going to be basically the first 4 minutes. That's how long it recorded. First 4 minutes is going to be on there. Then it's going to be just your solo mic for a bit. I'm going to be a little echoey. And then back to me. Hello. You can hear me much more clearer now.
Are you just going to raise yourself on my mic?
I can't really do that because if I raise the whole thing, it raises your voice too. So
well, I mean, just when you're talking. Like,
oh, yeah, I could do that. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I could do that.
I
So,
mean, it may sound a little weird, but...
Yeah, it might sound a little, like, echoey, but, you know. Again, episode 4, baby.
Episode 4, we're pretty much pros by now.
Yeah.
Right?
So, there's a little bit of routine that we still need to get used to and to actually get things working properly. But, I mean, hey, it's a learning process, and I guess what I'm not going to do again. Ooh, if it happens again, dude, fuck. Fucking called it.
God damn it.
So what were we talking about?
I don't fucking remember. Oh, yeah, I would...
Take your time. I think you had a stroke.
Okay. Okay. What I was thinking about was that in the previous campaign, I learned from what you guys wanted and what we're kind of going for.
Yeah.
And it felt like you guys we're drifting into wanting more of the role play and more of the story.
Yeah.
Which I had prepared for that world, but you guys didn't really even know.
Yeah,
Like,
that was another thing
robots.
too, is because a lot of the group with new players, so they didn't know. And so
sure.
yeah, I have to make sure. With a few players that don't know, they're already in that mindset of like a robot of like, I gotta go and kill this, I gotta go and do this. You know what I mean? Where me, I knew a lot about the game already, so I knew that hey, this and this can be out there, or I can explore this and this. But that wasn't my priority. My priority was like everyone else's, where it's just like follow this, stay linear, and I know what you mean. Where it's just like once people got the hang of it, you can kind of see like, oh, they're trying to do this a little bit, trying to do this a little bit, and sort of incorporate that and learn off of it. It is really good for that first game that we played to be a sort of learning process, especially for you as the DM, and still being the DM, you remember that whole game of like little notions here and there, like how they acted here and there. And then characters have our own sort of section of like how we learned and what we can do now and stuff like that. Yeah. So
you guys seem to be more of the story now, hopefully. So I will definitely try to have a lot more backstory on just like a fucking chair.
Yeah.
You want to know the backstory of that chair? I fucking got you, dude.
You want to know where it was made? I got the place it was made, the factory it was made, the people who made it. Like,
there's a fucking brand on it.
There's companies here, dude. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of it, this
chair? Never seen it in your life.
You've seen this chair before. It's like, we're on the other side of the world. What are you talking about?
That chair's looking at you real fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, but comparing the two games, I feel like this one's going to be, again, like I said, legit. It's going to be full, like, because we learned from that first game. And there was even a game before that I DM'd, and that was a journey. That was a learning lesson, I think, for, like, all of the people who still play. Yeah. Was Diego in that first campaign? I don't think he was.
He was in for, like, half of it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, like, half.
Oh, yeah, okay. So there was that aspect of like we were still kind of trying to get that solid group, and I can see that we're starting to get that. It's like me, you, Steven, and Angel. I never show up. I'm not. This is my first time being here, guys. But now we're starting to get So that was the first game, and I think then we were starting to get like Alicia. Was Alicia in that game? No. Oh, she was. She was in that first game.
Was she? Oh, yeah. She's
and then we got Alex for the second campaign.
And
but
in the middle of that one too. Not too in the middle.
Not too much, but like kind of after the beginning. Yep.
Sure.
I read my mind. Get out of it. So that first one, it was sort of for like both a learning experience for me on not only because I was still learning how to play entirely. You know what I mean? So you guys had room to learn as a player, but I had the mind of like I got to learn how to be a DM. And then now these games, I'm like, that first game, I think I was like, I knew a lot from DMing, so I should know a good portion or like to keep up player wise in the second campaign.
Yeah.
Me as a player now, even now, I've learned a lot more. So it's like, I know everything.
It is quite different from DMing and.
Oh yeah,
being a player.
it is
It's
a huge difference.
difference.
Another thing too is because we learned D&D and then we didn't like your brother showing us and his friends showed us the 3.5 and we sort of learned from that.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, that one shot was good. So you guys now know how to play. And us as a group were like, we know how to play, but we don't have a story. What do we do? And it was kind of like we didn't know about modules at the time. So it was just homebrew. Yeah. And I thought that was initially how everyone played, just homebrew it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you still can. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And it's working perfectly. But for mine, I was just like, whole thing's homebrew. Oh, wait. Like, I didn't even know homebrew was a term. You know what I mean? So then as I was building that one, I was like, this is called a homebrew. What is this? It's like...
What is this word that I keep saying?
Yeah. But it's like... doing that, it's much more different. But now I think that we're more experienced and we understand the homebrew and sort of things like that. It makes it much more easier.
Yeah.
In terms of like that and modules.
And there's so many mechanics and things to add just to your character. Not even not even DM. There's so much. Like I didn't know until like the mid part or maybe like closing off the last campaign that there are different like archetypes and whatnot, like different schools for wizards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. I thought you were just like, I'm a wizard, I do spells like that. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was like different colleges that can make you into like more of this profession of magic or like or like what's that? Wild magic? Is that what it's called?
Wild magic for the sorcerer?
Yeah, there's like that.
I didn't even know about that.
And then for the monk, there's...
Dude, there's so much monastic traditions. I don't want to get started about that.
It's ridiculous.
That can be a whole topic in itself.
Yeah.
I had a problem with that. But...
And then like assassins. There's so like not assassins, rogues. They have so many just back shit.
Yeah.
too.
Dude, another thing that I neglected was a fighter. I didn't know... Like, I knew fighters, like, hey, there's a fighter there. Yeah. Until I was helping John with his. Reading it, I was like, oh, fighters keep up. Like, there used to be that stigma of, like, hey, like, you have a fighter level 1 and a wizard level 1. Fighter's going to be better, but a fighter level 20 and a wizard level 20, the wizard's going to be 10 times better because of spells in the end. You know what I mean? No. Fighters keep up the entire time. Like, I was looking through the stuff. They're deadly as hell, especially if you pick the right things and you could be fighting magic users and you could fuck them up if you put the pieces together right. You could still be deadly to anything. You know what I mean?
Steven's a barbarian. He's a
barbarians. They just go up, like a totem warrior.
Yeah, totem warrior. That's what he is. Dude, he chose a duck.
Did he?
I really don't. He still hasn't fucking told me which one he's going with.
Another thing, too, is if you think about it, think about all the shit we know now. The monastic traditions, the wild magic. I already know. That goes to sorcerer. Yeah. School of transmutation. The school goes to the wizard. Transmutation deals with this. I remember one day I messaged you and I was like, I think base attack bonus goes to your damage, too. It's like, it's something as simple as that. Like, when we were learning. That was a long time ago. That was over a year.
Yeah, over
a year and about 2 months, probably. No, probably
3-4 months.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I was thinking of it December. No, it's more than 2 months. But yeah, I remember thinking like, your attack bonus is how much you add to your d20, and then I think you put it with your damage, but I'm not too sure. Like, learning that mechanic at the time, I didn't know. Like, I wasn't going off a rule book. You know what I mean? So it was kind of that, like, is this cheating? Am I... Ooh. Now, see, I fucking got him, dude. You want to... Hold on. Let me just move my mic over to said person. What did you do?
I fucked up.
Now, see, I asked him, do you have your mic on? He said, yes, you fucking idiot. He called me the idiot. And I thought you didn't because it's not like a different color. when you press record. So you want to just go ahead and give a little.
I don't know if I wanted to.
Go ahead and press the little.
Okay.
Bam.
Look, there it is.
Oh, hold on. Okay, there it is. Wow.
Oh my God. This is just not our session today.
It's not. In terms of technology, I feel like talking. I mean, it might take a bit to edit, but we fucking episode 4. We're going back to this learning process, but I think it's fine, man.
Fuck me, dude.
It's all good. Another cool thing too is
Hold on, let's get back to our sponsors though. Sponsored by what's his fucking name? The kid from SoundCloud.
I don't even know if I have his stuff yet. Future me, if it's there, throw the plug right at the top right. No left. Fuck. See, now I just
It's at the bottom right on to the left side.
Right? It's at the top right. Now put it at the top left. Okay, now put it under where it says podcasts.
It's not moving at all. You're just saying it's just sitting right there.
So,
God
I mean,
damn
if we have that, then, I mean, that I kind of want to hold.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I kind of want to get a confirmation on that for our podcast.
Yeah.
So we can properly announce it and deal with it. But,
yeah,
dude. I mean, mic's on and mic's off. You know, it's another good thing, too, is that we talk one after another.
Yeah.
So, in a situation where first 4 minutes going to be both of us, probably 20 minutes is going to be you, but I can amplify my end or when I talk.
Yeah.
And then the other portion is going to be me, and then I amplify when you talk. I mean, it's going to sound a little echoey, but I mean, this is still getting out there. This is still, I mean, in terms of podcasts, I think this is a quality podcast. Just
we're so shit.
We're learning.
We're so bad.
We're still trying to get this down.
Fuck you.
Well,
not you.
Future me?
Sure.
I'll reverse it for you. There you
go. Thanks, man.
But, okay. Now, let's see. Let's go even. What were we talking about?
I don't know. I don't remember now. Fuck.
We were talking about my homebrewed game and then modules. Oh, the base attack bonus. On how, the progression of us learning. Like, that's crazy. Because, yeah, like I said, at the time, I felt like, oh, you have a +5 to hit. That's what base attack bonus means.
Yeah.
But then you put that +5 with damage. Now, I don't see, like, that could be cheating. That could be not. Like, at the time, I didn't
Stop
know.
fucking cheating, dude.
Yeah, I felt like I was. Like, I'm not kidding. I was, like, worried to tell you.
Yeah.
Or to sort of suggested, like, hey, I think this means this. And, I think even at the time, I was DM. So it's like I'm cheating against myself or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
hey, guys, here are my dice.
Boy, if you want to hear dice, I don't got mine, but I would have. Now, see, do you want to listen? I don't have much right now from my wonderful list of things to talk about with things about things for people.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we've filled up quite a bit of topics. I mean, just talking about stuff. So
what's D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Fuck, dude,
there's an S at the end of that. Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop RPG role-playing game that's been created since the 70s, I think. It's a fucking nice game. You should play it. One thing.
Oh, I like. One thing I wanted to say about Dungeons and Dragons was I like how this all started at a lunch table. We were all just like,
oh yeah,
hey, let's play that fucking RPG game.
Oh no, I think
know what the fucking name was.
You were like, hey, my brother said if you guys want to learn how to play D&D, or like we should play D&D. My brother knows how, like he could teach us or something like that. And we're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I remember it was just like we didn't know fuck all.
All, like nothing.
There was so much to it when we first started that.
And another thing too, which I've done this before, and it could be like with things like video games or something like that, but because it was so immense, like the community of D&D and the whole entire world and all the things that's been made, it could feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just jump in and everything's there. You're like, fuck, where do I start?
Yeah.
That wasn't the case with this.
No.
And that was one of the things I fucking loved about this too, is because I can get into a game of like Destiny and it's like, oh, there's all these fucking raids. There's all these weapons. Here you go. Just fucking do stuff. It's like, where do I start, you fucking asshole? Or something like that. Like,
yeah.
So where it was just us, it was essentially us jumping into a rabbit hole of an entire new world.
Yeah.
But because it was essentially like it even works. The rabbit hole was like just a sort of tunnel of slowly getting there and then realizing like where the fuck are we? Like it was like, oh, there's so much to this, and we already know half of it or like a portion of it. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot that I have learned from Critical Role.
Yeah.
Critical Role has taught me a lot, but we didn't even know about Critical Role. That's the thing. We didn't like start watching Critical Role and be like, oh, this game's fucking badass. Let's see if my brother can teach us.
No,
it wasn't like that at all. We didn't even know what the fuck it was. And so there may be aspects that we've either taken from Critical Role or made into our own.
Yeah.
But I'm saying right now that we didn't even know what Dungeons and Dragons was.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know Critical Role existed until after we started playing.
I remember the first one shot that we ever played in 3.5.
Yeah.
Your brother's, I think it was his friend or your brother was saying that there's shows out there. He was saying one of them was Dice Cameras Action. Mm-hmm. That one I now know about. Then I don't know if he said Critical Role, but he said another show, and then I had the thought of like, okay, we learned this. Now let me try watching it to see how people play. So one of the first, I think I looked up Dice Cameras Action, and that one has Chris Perkins, one of the main like boys for D&D and Wizards of the Coast and all that.
Yeah.
So for someone who works and creates stuff for D&D, he's a DM. That's perfect. You know what I mean? So, seeing that one and then seeing Critical Role, I don't know what it was. I think it was the fact that they were all voice actors.
I think that's what got me too.
That got me like, oh, these are just a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors getting around to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Sponsor us, please.
Oh boy, if I can even like, just damn, like they're.
You think they can sponsor us?
I don't think a sponsor, but I mean, I'll shout them out as many times as I'd want because that whole show sort of gripped me like, no, you're gonna like this game, trust me.
Yeah.
And that just sprouted of like, okay, now I kind of want to learn this, you know.
And then
what I mean?
Matthew Mercer, the god himself.
Yeah, and then he not only that, after D&D, I think once we started getting the hang of it, I was watching that more and more, Critical Role more and more, and I was realizing like voice actors are fucking cool. Like that whole profession, I knew about it before. Like like at the time, I knew about this guy voices this guy or something like that.
Yeah.
But never to an extent of like these are what voice actors are doing.
Yeah.
That's not what everyone does, but I mean in a sense of this is what it's perfect for.
Yeah.
So seeing someone or like a whole group of them, just like voice acting's cool, and so is this game. It works perfect. So I was like, I already got one down.
Yeah.
I mean, I can try to get the other one down, and then I mean, I think that's the fucking life. Being a voice actor would be awesome. It'd be amazing.
And I've always ever since I was little, I've always tried to mimic people's voices off of like shows like fucking Shrek, dude. Fuck yeah. But like off of cartoons and such,
and accents
and stuff like that. I've always been able to do it. The thing that I've been struggling currently, and I know I am, is the acting part.
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
Like, yeah, I can mimic fucking Gandalf if I wanted to, but what if I wanted to play as Gandalf?
Mm-hmm.
How would I act?
It's one thing to talk like Gandalf and be like, oh, I do this and this. It's easy to just say it. Yeah, that's great.
That was pretty.
But in a sense of playing the character, it's totally different. Like even with commercials, it's something as simple as that. If you watch a regular car commercial, you can see that. I mean, those are actors. But then if you see a local commercial of like a local car dealership or something like that, you can tell like that's local acting. Because they're not
look at shit that
not necessarily. Well, I mean, yes, some are shit, but like to an extent, you can tell like acting's not their profession, or if they've tried a little bit and now they're in this commercial, like for their own stuff. But you can tell the difference. You know what I mean? So I think there's a moment that it just surpasses that, like a fucking like a high end commercial of just it's not even the person talking. It's like he's acting like a father doing this and that, fucking handing Cheerios or something like that. It's acting. But I feel like locally you can tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely tell the difference.
Because of the level of expertise.
Yeah.
So, like, getting something like that down would be nice.
Yeah.
And another thing too is there's a website, and I think it's called AIM.
AIM?
I could be wrong, or it's probably something else, but it's basically a website with thousands of accents from different places.
That's awesome.
So you can listen to it, sort of mimic it, and sort of learn. It helps you learn.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think, as a voice actor, it could be really good. Say you want to be like a British character in this one game or this one video or something like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be video games. Like, at first I thought it's like, oh, it's cool because they're in video games. But then I thought it's even better because they're in shows and even movies, and like it expands a lot further now.
Yeah.
So voice acting is the fucking place to be if you want. Like, acting's cool, and like the fucking Rock, you got it big, but having I don't know, voice acting's a lot more different.
And what I've noticed about my own voice is because I can get high.
Mm-hmm.
Like my voice can get pretty high. But I really like to do the low bassy voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like the that sounds like this and stuff like that. And or just like with the more of a tone, something more like this where I
More
can
savvy, yeah.
Or just like stuff like that. Like I can get pretty high too, but I'm pretty sure it sounds like shit. I'm pretty sure my deep voices sound like shit too. But
I think it's not as shit because it's naturally deep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still that level of like, I gotta learn this or something like that.
Yeah. Like I tried to mimic the Joker or like Junkrat, you know, the fucking crazy people out there. Or the crazy fucking fictional characters
Shout out to
there.
all those fucking crazy people.
Like with that high pitched like laugh and voice and
Yeah, I
stuff
know what
like
you
that.
mean.
That's hard.
Oh, it's tough, yeah.
I can't do that. And I could just be completely wrong, and the voice that I just made was absolute shit too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I would like to go more into it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I feel like the more natural side of where you are, because in my voice, it's deep to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's not just like fucking Vin Diesel deep, you know what I mean?
Dude,
it's
that
like,
guy's voice.
But then another thing too is getting it too deep, you have problems of it sounding like really croaky or just like clicky. You can kind of you can kind of tell of where that's at.
Yeah.
And so going into those deeper voices, it'll be much more easier to learn, or even just trying different, like more higher pitch versions. It does take some practice, but I mean, it's all completely doable.
Yeah. I really like that. The different voices that I can do. Mm-hmm. It's really fun, and I kind of really want to see if I can possibly in college get like an acting class or something like that, just so I can like start improv. Like to get improv down to a fucking nice spot on that bitch. I would really like to do that. But I don't know if I'll have to see.
Another benefit from voice acting, say a video game, your friends can play the game too and think that's not that character, that's Raven, or that's Andres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember, I think it was Troy Baker who played Red Hood in Batman in one of the Batman games. Obviously, Troy's friends, whoever played that game, be like, that's not Red Hood. That's my friend Troy. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Yeah. I think that's amazing because there's people out there that spend hours and hours on a game that could probably listen to your voice over and over again. You know what I mean? So it's one of that thought of like, hey, you guys should play this game, and then they play it and like you're the main fucking character. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't feel like I'm playing me. I feel like I'm playing you. What the fuck? Because it's that personal level. Yeah. And I kind of...
That's cool.
I want that moment to happen to where it's just like, I can't play a fucking game without hearing you. Yeah. And it's kind of weird. I'm like, that's what I'm going for, man. Like, and just getting your voice across. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, like, some people would probably, like, some companies would probably just like the normal voice. Mm-hmm. As like something that I'm using right now. Like they would just probably be like, oh, that's a pretty cool voice. I could probably use that for this or something.
Exactly.
Or you would even recognize your own fucking friend because like how good he would get.
That too.
Like you'd be like,
what do you think of this character?
Yeah,
like, they're really annoying. Their voice is like I don't know. It just stuck in my head,
Yeah.
and then you do the voice or something like that, and they're like,
What
"Fucking
the
serious?"
fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like even though there are a lot of times to where it's like something like Matthew Mercer playing an orc in Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
That's something where it's just grunts and like screams and like yeah,
Like that. Yeah.
something like that. That can obviously you can't recognize it immediately.
Yeah.
But if you tell them, hey, that's Matt, you can hear it. You can then hear it. But with something like different voices or different accents, you can still hear their bass voice in it, and which I think is amazing for recognizing what's what.
Yeah.
But I mean, there probably is some person.
I've got a bullet with your name.
I think there's some person out there that's just has one voice and they play a character that has an entirely different voice. You know what I mean? It doesn't even sound remotely like them, and I think that's pure skill.
Yeah.
When you have that.
When you can, that's how good I want to get.
Yeah.
I want to have this just barrage of different voices. You wouldn't even know who the fuck it is. Like you wouldn't know who's playing that.
Yeah.
Did you know, like, have you seen Beast Boy's voice actor?
I don't think so. Is it a girl?
No.
It's not?
It's a guy.
Is it?
He's fucking a hippie, dude.
Is he really?
He's a hippie all the way. You should look him up. Real shit.
Which Beast Boy? The old Teen Titans?
I want to say it was the old Teen Titans. I want to say it was.
I'll just look up Beast Boy voice actor.
Yeah, you'll see him. Trust me, he looks like a fucking hippie. If it's from the new one or the old one.
I put Boyce.
Boyce. Give me that voice actor. Yeah, but he looks like a damn hippie, and it made me laugh, and I was just like, you know what? It works. I like that. I like that Beast Boy's a fucking hippie.
So there's multiple because of the new movies, like animated movies.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can go to images. Is he blonde?
Yeah, he's blonde.
Yeah. Whoa.
Let me see that shit.
So there's hold on, let me try to come on. There's this one of him sitting properly. There's this one of him like kind of hippie. That one's pretty hippie. But then there's that like ooh.
Yeah, that's him.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I was not expecting that whatsoever.
Yeah, another thing too, Bart. She a girl voice acts him.
Who?
Bart from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And even Timmy Turner.
Yeah,
That's one a girl too.
I knew that one.
I didn't at the time. I was
fucking
just
Naruto's voiced by a girl.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, it's like a lot of it. It's one of that amazing thing to where it's just like that could be a girl, that can't be. You don't know. Like,
yeah.
I would have never guessed that Bart was from a girl.
Yeah.
Until I saw, like, there's a video of the girl who voice acts as Bart buying like chocolate from some kid for his school, and he was like, "Do you like The Simpsons?" And the kid's like, "Yeah." And she was like, "What do you think of Bart?" And she was like, he's like, "Yeah, he's pretty cool." And she does the Bart voice or something like that, and he was just like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
he didn't like it caught him completely off guard because he probably had that same thought
That's
of
so
like,
cool,
"Or it's a boy."
dude.
So I'm expecting a guy voice actor. No, it was the girl, and she's a much older woman now.
Yeah.
And she can fucking nail that voice because she's been doing it for years, obviously. Yeah. But just seeing that kid's reaction is awesome, you know, and like something like that where you get on a show that's been on for years. Like I think it's over 20 years now.
What?
The Simpsons. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So like something like that where your voice is or your character's voice is recognizable. It's really good when you get to the point of people like your natural voice. Yeah. So you're not continuously doing a character's voice so people recognize you. It's just you being you. That's another cool thing of like Seth MacFarlane. His original voice is Brian. Yeah. And like Matthew Mercer, all he did was put like a Western accent to his voice, and you can perfectly hear it in his voice still. Yeah. But that's kind of on the verge, because I mean Seth MacFarlane. Imagine everyone's like, do the Stewie voice, do the Stewie voice, do it, and then he like essentially has to manually get to that voice and do it. So it's not the same as just like Troy Baker's Red Hood, where he's just talking. It's just him in that mindset of Red Hood. Yeah. So like. Ooh, if you get your natural voice onto a thing, it's fucking
like
nice.
Matthew put his on the main character in the fuck game was it? Titanfall, like the campaign version.
Was he the main character?
Yeah, in Titanfall 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he played the main character, and you can fucking tell it's him. It's him.
Yeah, it's just his natural voice.
straight
Yeah, because then I think at the point too is because someone like Matthew Mercer, he keeps doing voice after voice, and the voice company, or like the companies getting the voices, they're like, we don't even need him to make a voice. Like, listen to him.
Yeah.
Because at that point you're starting to like think about his voice and like, in a sense, even critique his voice here and there. Hey, that's pretty smooth. It's very bassy, and it's like fucking molasses, my god, like something like that. Where it's like, even people like Travis Willingham or Ashley Jenkins, like
He voiced Sal. That made me happy.
Travis.
Yeah.
He also voiced the fucking Roy Mustang.
Roy Mustang.
That one, watching Full Metal Alchemist, I was like, oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't know that until you told me after.
Mhm.
No, I did know that. I did know that. Yes, I did.
yeah, but it's something like that. But like now, it's just they're not like, people are starting to like their natural voice, and I mean.
Yeah.
I used to probably think that voice acting was you have to like constrict your voice and shape it into this one character, and they'll like you for that one character.
Yeah.
But that's not the case for everyone. Like,
Nope.
say there's a dude out there who's making a game or an animation. They're like, I like both of these guys' voices, just their natural voice.
Yeah.
Then they'll be like, just come and just say these lines and say them louder, softer, this and that. Like, don't even try to make a voice. Just say it how you would say it. And it's like,
Travis played a couple of characters in Final Fantasy, I want to say. A couple of characters in there. Like,
Mhm.
I don't care about naming them, but I know he did play like 2 or 3 characters in there, and I thought that was cool.
yeah.
And Laura played a couple in Final Fantasy too.
Laura played something that I recognized immediately. Fuck, I can't remember it right now. But there's something out there. I think I caught it too, and I was like, "Is that Laura Bailey?" Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, there's shit. That is. And
Oh my lord.
one of them is an Afro Samurai, and I kind of want to check who. I think it was Liam O'Brien. He was in
Yeah.
Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
I think he was just like a thug, or like he wasn't even like one of the supporting actors or supporting characters. It was
Yeah.
just a dude, one of the characters he encounters. I was like, that's Liam. Holy shit. Like,
Holy shit.
catching on.
Yeah.
Because, again, he wasn't trying to do no voice. It was just him getting in the mind of the character. And it may change by pitch or like by mood or speed or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's still his voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I knew it was Matt in Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Yeah.
him. But I didn't confirm it until the end of the game,
Yeah.
till like
See the credits.
to see the credits,
Yeah.
and the first one was the fucking
Matthew
character's
Mercer.
name, and then next to it Matthew Mercer, and I was like, boy,
I
fucking
got
knew
it, yeah. Another thing too is with Critical Role having all the crazy voice actors.
Yeah.
Huge at number 8 total, well 9 because of Matt. They have guests on, and one of them was, I forgot her name. Oh, I just had it in my head and I already forgot it. She played a tiefling with Cash.
Tiefling. Oh,
I had
is
her
it-
name.
Is it K? It starts with a K.
It's Zara, but her actual name is.
It starts with a K, doesn't it?
Oh, I had it. I'm gonna look it up.
You
I'm
better.
gonna check.
Karen.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't know.
Zara Critical Role. Because another thing too about her is I think she's married or with Steve Bloom, who that man is known for
Painting.
not painting but voice acting as well.
Nah,
And-
dude, painting.
Steve Blum did do Steve Blum did do Mary Elizabeth McGlynn.
Mary Elizabeth.
I knew it had that Elizabeth in it. But yeah, so
I'm
her
autistic.
probably husband, I hope I get this right, but Steve Bloom played Tank Dempsey in Call of Duty Zombies.
Oh, really?
Me as a little kid, I loved that game to bits. And then I eventually found out that Steve Bloom played that character.
That's cool.
And then I did one of those things where I watched a YouTube video of like all of Steve Blum's voice acting, and I'd see what games he's in.
Yeah.
And he was in Batman, and I didn't even click until I saw the footage. I'm like, he was right there, and I didn't even know. So like, there's him that like it's a huge like group together, and 35,
Sorry.
50 total.
Yeah.
If you want, we can start closing up. But seeing that it's somehow intertwined, and they have people like other voice actors, like the guy who plays Reinhardt.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I like that guy. What's his name?
It's we know the people, but we keep forgetting names here and there.
He's a cool old man. Is what he is.
Yeah. But then again, like even in a one shot that Sam Riegel played, he had one of his friends who's never been a guest on Critical Role, but he's an amazing voice actor. And then I remember seeing, Ashley Jenkins obviously is best friends with Troy Baker because they did Last of Us. Last of Us being one of the like amazing video games ever, even cinematically of how well the video game was handled. And just knowing that those voice actors, like, they're best friends. I would hope they're best friends.
Darren DePaul,
yeah. Oof, that guy, like, getting those voice actors eventually connected. Like, I think they've... Who else have they talked to? There's a big... Nolan North is another one. A huge voice actor from Uncharted that worked with Troy Baker, but I don't feel like there's a connection with him in Critical Role yet, obviously. But, yeah, they have...
There never will be, dude. He's never coming back.
But I feel like because D&D with a bunch of voice actors, with all their connections of like, oh, I played with them and that person played with them, like, there could be a connection to where it can even trail back and to be... Yeah, that's Troy Baker. And so, I don't know. I just think it's awesome how a bunch of people are connected. Like, I've even seen a game with... Ashley Jenkins, her boyfriend, what's his name? Brian Foster, and then there's Mary McGlynn there, and then I think Steve Blum was there playing. This is all their session.
Yeah.
And even Logic was there, the rapper.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And well, no, this is like their own home game. You know what I mean? So it's Ashley. I already forgot his name. Her boyfriend.
Foster.
Brian. Yeah, Brian Foster.
You know, the guy that's...
Always talks about us not remembering him, and then I actually not remember him because he does that.
You know, the guy with the nice hair. We'll go with that.
An amazing facial hair. I want to get that
when he
straight.
grows out. He looks so fucking weird without facial hair, dude.
So, yeah, there was that whole group, and Logic was there too because Ashley and Brian was like a huge supporter for him. And he obviously plays hundreds of video games. Yeah. Like there's a thing with artists. It's like, oh, I just do music. I'm gonna focus on that, and nothing else. He's like, no, I want to play video games. I want to do what I've been doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So him getting into games and then D&D and then probably seeing Critical Role and like, hey, Ashley Jenkins, you're fucking cool. And then she's like, oh shit, let's play a game or something like that. Like, it could have sparked off of that, or they could have known each other already. It's just like that thought that there's this huge connection of amazing people just playing D&D, and it's probably because D&D that they have that another level of enjoyment and friendship. It's a great fucking game.
Ashley what? Jenkins?
Yeah. She's done Last of Us. What other games has she done? She's on TV too. She was an extra for the Avengers. There's like, I don't think it was a deleted. I think in the first Avengers movie there was Captain America and he was like helping up a waitress. And that was her.
Oh, that's
Everyone's
cool.
like, oh shit, you're in a movie.
She's a founding member of Ubisoft all-female professional gaming group, the Frag Dolls.
It's understandable.
Didn't know that. She founded Rooster Teeth's new division. I don't want to click. You know what? We're not going to click the link. I'm not going into that.
I think this is a pretty lengthy.
Bernie Sanders.
Oh wow. I think this is a pretty good length for a sizable podcast.
Yeah.
Mishaps here and there. Mike's not working.
We both went like
half and half.
Half and half.
Probably.
And then plus the 4 minutes of yours.
Yeah. So I mean, together this might sound a little janky here and there, but I mean, all in all,
it's all your guys' fault.
Yeah, it's
real
obviously
shit,
if you're listening to this, you did it. So
good job, assholes. All right, guys. Later.
Before, was it next week that you're not going to be able to record?
Oh yeah.
So I had an idea of getting one of our friends from the D&D group, Alex, to come and record with me.
Okay.
As a substitute, basically. And so next episode 5, is going to have our friend Alex.
Cool.
So sadly, he can't be here for one episode, but I mean, you're gonna have a whole plethora of episodes you're in. So
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So
That's awesome.
I guess look forward to that. Yeah.
Look forward to that.
I'm gonna.
But look forward to our D&D game.
Oh yeah, and another thing, we might record our sessions. That might be a thing.
Maybe. We'll
might
see.
not. We're still having problems keeping the mics on.
Yeah.
So
that may not be a thing.
maybe later sessions, probably not. I don't know. But it's an idea, something to get this Dwarven Goliaths channel running, and actually not just here's a podcast, like probably little things here and there as well. So
We might even start playing video games too, if you guys want to check that out as well. We should also be doing that, right?
yeah, definitely. We
Like
can start getting some gameplay in, and then
See, you know what? We're poor, so we're not going to be playing those new games.
yeah. I mean, if we really tried, we can get the games.
Yeah.
But I mean, who wants? I mean, some new games here and there aren't like.
If
we
it's
need to
hyped
get
as fuck,
this.
we'll play it.
Yeah. But
And if it's not to our liking, but to your liking, our opinion's better.
and you're not running the channel, go away. No, but yeah, we're definitely going to expand this. I think the podcast being a good start to, hey, you have this channel and you're kind of having something going, like, keep going with it. You know what I mean? Even it's stay consistent with this video. Now you can work around by throwing this in, or gameplay here, session clip here, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like this can grow a lot, and it will. Because I mean, if we put our mind to this podcast, we got it. Like, I think we were being really lazy about it for a while.
Yeah.
But now we're just like, no, hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna fucking record today.
I'm being
God
lazy
damn it.
about that drawing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys don't need
Another
to
thing
do
too. We can work on things here and there to improve the podcast, and improve the visuals of Dwarven Goliaths, and get it more legit. So, yeah.
And maybe in the near future, we'll have a camera so you guys can actually see us.
Yeah, or we can just be anonymous and you'll never see our faces.
Who am I?
What? So yeah, go ahead and look forward to that episode 5 of having Alex there. I'm definitely gonna look forward to seeing all the new stuff that we can do eventually, and even look forward to more upgrades visually of like, hey, we got an emblem, or hey, we got this art style, or something like this here and there. So, and I think there's a few other little things that we can find that's coming soon that we can sort of, hey, you should it's more is always good. So this is definitely more that we can work on.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us, and have a good one.